Hi, Julie Jones from SSB Performance, Smarter, Stronger, Better Mindset Training, here with this week's Mindset Made Simple Tip of the Week, brought to you by Game Day Sportswear. This week we're talking about one way to help ourselves and those we lead build better habits. I'm a statistic. You might be too. I stopped my New Year's resolution on July 12th, just like 2/3 of the population did a month into 2023. 9% of Americans make it through a year doing their resolution. I did not reach that height. We went on a trip. We were gone for a couple weeks. My resolution went bye-bye. So the question is, why do we stop doing the things we know are good for us? Why can we not stop doing the things we know are not good for us? That's the question. And as we head into a new school year, a new academic year coming up, or coming off the summer if we're in business and we know that a new sales year and new sales goals are heading our way, it's a good time for us to think about the integrity of our habits and routines and ways that we can help those that we lead do the things that we know are going to help them perform better. Whether it's doing extra work, being a better studier, eating more healthy snacks instead of the crap that we eat as Americans. All of these things are hard to do. It's hard to start a new good habit. It's hard to break an old bad habit. But there are ways that we can help ourselves. So here's an example. We go to Germany. We stay with very healthy people. And I didn't snack. And any of those of you who have been following me for years know that I have a problem with snacking in the middle of the day. We have a pantry. It's where we keep our snacks, and they're not necessarily good snacks. They're not good snacks, period. Animal crackers, nacho chips, stuff like that. Not candy and things like that. There's that in there. That doesn't interest me. I like the crunchy or the salty or the bland, I guess you could say. But I stop by that thing, honest to God, every time I walk through the kitchen. It's ridiculous. I literally thought about putting a lock on it. Well, we're in Germany. I didn't snack at all. Why? Because there were no snacks available. None. I didn't know where they kept the pretzels. I didn't know where they kept the chips. I'm sure they had them. In fact, one time they brought out this delicious bag of pretzels. Thank God I didn't watch where she put them back. But the bottom line is there were no snacks to eat. So I didn't snack. That's a good thing. Conversely, my resolution went bye-bye. My resolution was to drink a glass of water, a full glass of water, first thing in the morning to fire up my brain, to get my body going. I work out at 6. I want to have good fluids and be hydrated for that. We know that being dehydrated, just a small amount, 2%, can affect our performance by 10%. That's a big differentiator. I didn't drink any water in the morning. In fact, in Germany, you have to pay for tap water at dinner. It's like cheaper to drink beer than it is to drink water, which is not good if you can see where that's going. But in the condo that my brother-in-law owns, they have running water. I could have poured myself a glass of water and had a glass of water or drink out of my big water bottle every morning, just like I had from January until July 12th. But no, I didn't have it sitting there in the morning like I do at home. At home, I fill it up the night before. I sit it so it's the first thing that I see, and I drink it. Boom, easy. Gone like I've never done it before. What didn't go away was my working out. I did get up and work out. Granted, I slept in a room that had a bike and weights in it, so I could get up and work out before anybody else got up. All I had to do was add my workout gear, my AirPods, my phone, my sweat towel, my shoes and all those things. Just put all those by the bike the night before, good to go. That did not go by the wayside. So why did the other things change? Why did the other things change in this experience? And the hardest thing I do, the working out, didn't. Why does that happen to us? If you read The Happiness Advantage, which I highly recommend, you'll note that the author, Shawn Achor, says that this is when we need to employ the 20-second rule. The 20-second rule. If we make things 20 seconds easier, we're more likely to do them. If we make things 20 seconds harder, we're less likely to do them. In Germany, there were no snacks, so I didn't snack. Made it a lot easier. Didn't even think about it. Just ate whatever we ate at the time we ate, and there we go. Happy and healthy. Didn't faint from, lack of nourishment or lack of calories. The water would have taken me 20 more seconds to do because I didn't plan for it. I would have had to go and figure out how I'm going to set this up. Not that hard, but I didn't do it because there was resistance. This is the question. For those of you that coach, how can we get our kids to do extra work? How can we get them to be in a good quiet study place? How can we get them to eat the good stuff that comes out of that vending machine that they can use with their ID, if you have that at your school like we did at Akron? How can we get them to choose the good stuff in there? Well, we can fill it with good stuff and there are no other options, so we know that they're going to eat it. That's one way. But it's about changing our environment, period. The only thing that changed in my examples was the environment. The environment of me working out didn't change that much because the stuff I needed was right there. I made one little adjustment to make it even easier, and boom, I'm off and running or off and biking or off and lifting, doing whatever I do. The environment changed with the snacking that wasn't there, so I complied. It would have been much harder for me to go out and find the food than to just deal with what I had and realize I wasn't hungry anyway. So how can we, as we head into this new academic year, make it easier for those we lead to do what it is we want them to do, the things that we know are going to benefit them? When I was at Akron, I mentioned this before, if the kids were going to do their hitting during the time that we were in the indoor facility, beautiful facility, they would have to walk all the way to the back of the field house, which is football field plus, and seems like really far when we only have 20 minutes, all the way back there, bring out the tees, bring out the nets, go and ask someone to drop the nets for them. Too much resistance. So I used to beg Alan, the guy who still runs the facility, can we just leave a net and a bucket of balls and a tee out here so they can come in, take a few cuts and go? Because we know that taking a few cuts and going is better than coming in, taking all that time. That resistance, they're not going to overcome it. We're not going to do it. That's why Netflix goes from one to the next. They know we're not going to get up and change the channel. Well, we don't have to get up to change the channel anymore. We're not even going to pick up the remote. That's how lazy we are now. When I was a kid, you had to at least get up and turn it to 3, 5, or 8, all of our choices. But the bottom line is this: if we can enhance our environment to work for us, we are going to be more likely to do the things that we need to do and less likely to do the things that we shouldn't be doing. In the Happiness Advantage, Acor talks about the fact that people who have fruit on their counter in their kitchen weigh 20 pounds less than their neighbor who has cereal or snacks, like cookies and things like that on the counter. That's a major difference because we eat what's there. And we do it mindlessly. Just like I go to the snack counter or snack pantry mindlessly. And every time I do it, I get frustrated with myself, but I continue to do it. So I've got to change my environment. All I need to do is skip the chip aisle at the grocery store. That'll take care of it. I have proven if they're not there, I don't need them. So the question for you this week is, what do you need to do? What systems do you need to have in place when everybody gets back to campus, when everybody's full-fledged back in the office after vacation? What do you need to do to make the things that are good for us easy, 20 seconds easier? And what do you need to make harder so that we're less likely to go that route? It seems so simple. It's not that simple, I know that. But as Aristotle said, we are what we repeatedly do. Our routines set us up for habits. Our habits set us up for consistency. We want to be consistently good. Consistency sets us up for excellence. And of course, that's what we want. We want to be excellent in thought, in emotion, in action, in result. And the only way that we are going to be consistent is if we consistently do what we need to do to be our best. And we can manufacture our environment to do that much better than we do. It takes a little bit of planning. It takes some intention. It takes some discipline, but it's not that hard. We make things easier that we want to do. We make things harder that we don't want to do. And we are going to gravitate toward what's more simple or simpler, whichever way you want to say it. If it's simple, I'll do it. If it's a little bit too hard, maybe I'll try something else. So again, the challenge for you to be thinking about as we head into the 2023-24 season, whatever that looks like for you, is how can you set up your environment for yourself and for those you lead to get the best out of everyone by making the things that will make us better easier to do and making the things that hold us back harder to do. I'd love to work with your team. Reach out to me, juliej@ssbperformance.com. Just worked with the high school football team on Monday, going back tomorrow. Love the football, guys. Lots of energy, lots of fun. Let me bring some of that to you. I'd love to be able to be a part of what you're doing and help those you lead be their best mentally so they can perform at their peak. Until next week, manage the moments, manage your environment, build good habits, and have a great week.